What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing an analysis on Bren Esports versus Burmese Ghouls. Alright, so this is going to be the tank Brody that a lot of you have been asking for me to analyze. So if you want me to analyze the other games as well, please be sure to be specific on which game you want me to analyze on the comment section. And before we start, do not forget to hit the like button, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for more future analysis and tutorials. Alright, so let's head into the draft first before we start. It is very important. Let's look at the bans first. Alright, so Claude gets banned. It was actually Bren Esports who had the first pick. Alright, they don't want to give Karl the Claude anymore. Also, Yusun Shin gets banned, one of the most prioritized heroes or cores in M2 actually. And of course, Diggy is banned for Coach Ducky. He doesn't want to deal with this Diggy. He doesn't want to think about how to counter the Diggy. It's very annoying. So he banned it throughout the series. Alright, now let's talk about the other side. It's gonna be Esma ban, which is pretty common. Probably the strongest offlaner right now. Mathilda gets banned as well with the Selena, which is a respect ban for few. Alright, I noticed though that not a lot of people were banning Selena as much in M2, and we're actually having it open and not even picked sometimes in the games. Alright, so Selena kind of fell off the meta, I would say, but definitely in the right hands, it's very scary still. For the first pick for Bren Esports, we have Karl on the Brody. We all know that he's going to be building this Brody as a tank. Alright, and the only damage item he has is the Malefic Roar. But Burmese Ghouls obviously don't know that. Alright, usually Brody builds like a Beast Killer, either Armor Boots or Magic Resist Boots, and then Blade of Despair, and then Brute Force, and then etc. Alright, whatever he needs to build. Malefic Roar and more tanky. Yu Zhong, on the other hand, will be picked for Burmese Ghouls and Baxia. Alright, so why was Baxia picked so early here? Usually, if you watch the previous games of Bren Esports versus Burmese, Bren uses Baxia to counter the Yu Zhong. Alright, they use Baxia to counter the Yu Zhong. So they want to deny pick Bren from picking Baxia and giving Yu Zhong an easier time. Alright, an easier time. And Yu Zhong is actually very good against Brody. Alright, so how do you want to counter Brody? Alright, to counter Brody, you need a dive composition. Alright, so people like Benedetta, Sylvana, True, Jawhead is still open, so like hard dive comps. Even Atlas, I think Atlas is pretty good against Brody, I would say. But they have the Baxia here. This could go offlane or tank. Really depends on the playstyle of the team. But in most cases, I think Baxia offlane is much better. Baxia offlane is much better than Baxia tank. To counter Yu Zhong, you usually want high burst or a range hero, such as Lunox, Chango offlane, which is not picked that often. And we also know that Burmese Ghouls, they have the respectable Lunox pick, like I've been saying before. Lunox is very good against Yu Zhong, Esmeralda, Lapu-Lapu, those types, because she is ranged. She has really good survivability with Brilliance, with the light form, and good burst with the dark form. They need some wave clear here, like Farsa Chango maybe. High wave clear for them to not get snowballed. That's what's really good about Chango, Farsa, Alice, those really high clear, wave clear type of heroes. Whenever you have those heroes, the enemy cannot finish the game as fast, alright? Usually it's gonna take you like 2 lords. One 12-minute lord and another one after 12 minutes. So that's what usually happens when you have a high wave clear type of heroes. But Bren Esports will pick the Lunox here against the Yu Zhong, which is super good, I would say. And I think Lunox is also good against Nat, so I'm not really sure. Wait up. So I think, okay, Lunox was picked before the Nat was even picked for Burmese Ghouls. I'm not a big fan of the Natalia pick here, and you might ask why, alright? Just looking at this team comp already for Bren Esports, they have high survivability. Lunox, Brilliance, Brody is like a tanky core, right? He's not full damage, but he's a very tanky core. Even if you don't build him like Karl did during this game, it's gonna be really hard for Nat to even burst the Brody, because he's gonna be building Beast Killer and Brute Force Breastplate later on, and even maybe Immortality Brute Force, right? So it's gonna be really hard for Nat, which Burmese Ghouls will pick after this, to burst out this Brody. So I don't think it's a very good pick. It's not a good pick. It's only gonna be good early game. That's it. Early game against Alice, because Alice is very weak early game. Alice needs to wait until level 4 for her to go online, alright? But yeah, Burmese Ghouls will pick Nat here, which I'm not a big fan of, alright? I'm not a big fan of. I would say Nat, every time I analyze a Natalia game, 90% of the time, whoever has the Nat will lose. Alright, I think the only analysis that I did that Nat was successful was our PH, the no tank team composition with the Natalia, alright? So I'm very surprised Burmese Ghouls actually picked Nat here. It would have been better if they picked like maybe high wave clear so they can get to the later stages of the game. Because from what it looks like, to meet their win condition, alright, to get Yuzhong into the later stages of the game, late game, because Yuzhong is a late game, they need high wave clear, Farsa, Chang'e, alright? Farsa would have been perfect here, or Chang'e. This guy is late game, this guy is late game, but I would say Brody is more of early game, mid game. So let's put EM right there, early game, mid game. Yeah, Burmese Ghouls, if they want to meet their win condition, they need one more late game hero, and then they need some wave clear, really good wave clear for them to actually go with this draft. Okay, but let's look at the second phase bans. From what it's looking like, let's see who they banned. So they did ban the Jawhead. We know that they don't have a tank yet for Bren Esports. And they still have the Jawhead. I would say Jawhead Chu would have been a good ban here for Burmese Ghouls, because we all know, I think based on M2 performance and pick rate, Jawhead and Chu are the most picked tanks. And the most successful at that when they're chosen. For example, Alter Ego, they like Jawhead and Chu. Well, that's Leo Murphy's specialty. Same with Lusty, I would say. Lusty has the same type of hero pool as Leo Murphy. Alright, it's gonna be the Jawhead and the Chu. We scrim against them and they really like picking Jawhead and Chu. But then again, Lusty has a freaking killer Grok and he has an Atlas, he has a Kufa. He pretty much plays every tank. But I would say in the current meta, the strongest tanks right now are Chu and Jawhead. Alright, so Bren Esports, they're trying to deny a late game hero. So what Bren could do here is either ban late game heroes such as Harith, because they don't really have hard CC yet, if you can tell. They don't have super hard CC to counter a Harith pick. So this is actually a really good ban for Bren Esports, alright? Even if they pick like a Chu here, it's gonna be really hard to contain Harith dancing back and forth and dashing back and forth. So that's why they banned the Harith, and very, very reasonable, right? Very reasonable. Let's see what Burmese Ghouls will ban here. I would say Chu would be perfect here to just counter Lusty and force him to another tank. But they banned Atlas instead, which I'm not really a big fan of that ban, to be honest. So draft wise, I think Burmese Ghouls could have improved on the Natalia pick and the Atlas ban, I would say. This should have been Chu. Definitely should have been Chu, especially if they did the research. It's like no brain Chu or Sylvana, I would say. One of those. I forgot about Sylvana. Sylvana could have been an option as well. The pressure that those two tanks give are just really good in the early stage of the game. While Atlas's early game is not really that good. It's not super good. It's if you snowball an Atlas, he's kind of useless. Alright, he does need one set for these guys to follow up, and they do have good combo with Atlas Alice, I guess. But other than that, Brody's single target, except for his first kill, and then Lunox is single target as well with the dark form. So I wouldn't be worried about an Atlas, to be honest. I would be more worried about a Chu. More mobile. Early game potential is really, really strong, or early game pressure, not potential. Chu tank doesn't really fall off late game, I would say. Chu tank is still very good late game. Bren Esports, they banned Lapu Lapu here. I don't know why they banned Lapu Lapu here. Actually, this could have been something different. I think that this is one thing that Bren Esports could have improved on in this draft. Is this could have been a Chang'e ban or a Farsa ban, right? Because they're more of like a snowball type of hero right now. Brody depends on snowballing, right? Same with Lunox, I would say, but Lunox is considered late game, and same with Alice. But yeah, I think it would have been better if this is a Chang'e or Farsa ban, right? So they could end the game a lot earlier. Either way, if they ban the Farsa, these guys could pick Chang'e. If they ban the Chang'e, they pick the Farsa. So either way, one hero was gonna get chosen anyway. So maybe that's why they banned the Lapu Lapu instead. Alright, so I forgot Benedetta was not picked. That could have been a really good pick against Brody, and I'm very surprised that Burmese Ghouls did not pick Benedetta here. I'm not sure if it's in their hero pool. I think it is. But yeah, Benedetta is not chosen until the second phase. This could have been a Benedetta offlane, to be honest with you. And I think that's another mess up for Burmese Ghouls. Alright? Although Farsa is still okay here, but in most cases, Farsa will end up being an offlane instead of a support, because Natalia is going to be supporting. Natalia is not capable of doing an offlane that, alright? Because she's not going to be able to gather information and all that, alright? I'm not really a big fan of mages in the offlane. The only mages that I like in the offlane are Esmeralda and Lunox. That's pretty much it. And Alice, alright? She's considered mage. I think that's about it. Those three. Any other mage I don't really like in the offlane. Maybe Chang'e. Chang'e, that's it. But Chang'e is not even that good as well because she doesn't have a lot of mobility and survivability. So she's really easy to gank in the off lane. While Pharsa, she does have bird form, so she could fly away. But if you CC her, if you crowd control her when she birds form, it gets cancelled. And like I said, they didn't ban Chu, so they're gonna be able to pick Chu. So it's like a comfort pick for Lusty pretty much. But Chu is also very good here, I would say, especially against Pharsa and Yu Zhong. As soon as Yu Zhong turns into demon form, Chu could simply kick, and he's not gonna be able to do anything as long as you burst them. Alright, they have the Lunox to burst the Yu Zhong as long as Chu could kick him. So they're not really worried about the Yu Zhong. Pharsa, easy to burst. Hayabusa, you could simply kick Hayabusa after the ulti if you spam your kick. Overall, I think this could have been a lot better. So some things that Burmese Ghouls could have improved on is probably the Natalia pick. This should have been chosen. This could have been something else. They didn't pick the Benedetta. They literally gave away the Benedetta. We all know if they did their research, right? We saw Flap's Benedetta is insane. That is something that they didn't respect and end up it backfired on them, right? They are gonna give Benedetta a hard time this game, I would say. They didn't respect the Chu from Lusty, alright? But these guys, I think the only thing that Bren could have improved on would probably be maybe the Lapu ban. But I mean, either way, it's still okay because one hero was gonna be open anyways, so that's why they didn't ban Chang'e or Pharsa. So understandable. There's like a logic behind it. It's not completely bad. It's still okay, alright? So a usual Natalia, what she does is she goes invisible. She goes to like a random lane, off lane, and then she tries to take advantage of a 1v2, and she pokes early game so that that lane will win in the early stages of the game. And that's exactly what the Burmese Ghouls is gonna do here from what it looks like. Baxia, on the other hand, is trying to do a fast red with second skill. As you can see, he's waiting right there, and Yu Zhong is gonna do a 1v1 with Alice. Meanwhile, Chu, Lunox, look at Chu and Lunox. One goes to the left side and the other goes to the right side. So they now have vision, or they now have an idea to where the enemy is just by securing these two bushes right here. Two bushes. Usually what teams like doing is they only secure one side of the map and not secure the other, alright? But these guys, Bren Esports, they already secured two sides of the river. See, as you can see, they don't have to show themselves until the minions gets in. They just wave clear. Chu, as soon as Chu knows, okay, there's nobody here at mid, they're probably somewhere else doing something, right? They're somewhere else doing something. So Chu's gonna check the red buff. They're probably doing the red. This is just game sense. They do this shit, alright? What would I do if I was the Baxia? I'd probably be doing fast red or fast blue, but most likely fast red because red is only one unit while the blue buff has two units. It has the little one and the big one, alright? So this is just good game sense from Bren already, alright? I'm not trying to sound biased, but this is like really, really good. And right now, look at the Chu harassing the Baxia already in the early stage of the game. So the best thing that Lusty could do is to try and reset this red buff, alright? And then he successfully did his job, but I think Hayabusa will be able to retribution this anyways. So nice try, but he did harass the Baxia. He didn't successfully do his job, but it still worked. It delayed them a little bit. Baxia is super low. Baxia probably needs to recall maybe, or he's probably regenning. Meanwhile, when Benedetta was on the bot lane earlier, right? When Benedetta was on the bot lane earlier, they saw that Natalia was here as well, as you can see on the mini map. And as soon as Lunox saw this, alright, okay, I need to help my Benedetta. We're gonna do a 2v2. They're matching what their enemies are throwing at them, right? While Brody is actually farming alone. It would have been better for Burmese Ghouls to actually invade the Brody instead and give Brody a hard time to farm and delay him. Alright, not a lot of teams do that now. That is the old meta where Baxia's, Natalia's will try and delay the enemy core instead of, you know, giving an advantage on the side lane. But this is really good. So now, after a few help Benedetta here on the bottom side of the map, they finally have the minion wave in equilibrium, right? What that means is it's in the middle of the lane. And Lunox is giving an opening, or he's opening up the map for this Benedetta to take the litho. Alright, so this is really good for Bren so far. This is just some basic stuff that really top tier teams should be doing. So this guy does not want for him to proc his passive. That's why he flickered so early, alright? Because if he proc his passive, he's probably going to be forced to recall and it's gonna buy time for Burmese Ghouls. So it's actually a good flicker, because look at his passive. One more spin was gonna proc his passive, and Lusty was probably gonna be like half health. All right, half health. But here goes the Natalia. This is really good for Burmese Ghouls. They're probably gonna get this kill, to be honest with you. They didn't. I'm really surprised they didn't. I thought they were. They should have, I think, because Natalia still had execute. I don't know what messed up right there, but this is a really good gank for Brody right here, because usually the game sense for Farsa is, right, wherever the true tank is and wherever the Lunox is, that's usually where the core would be, because they overshadow, or they kind of just give an opening or give vision to their core. But in this case, Brody is actually ganking alone, and Farsa did not know this, because he expects Brody to be top lane, because they saw Lunox here, right? So what I would think would be, okay, this lane is probably free. Benedetta just recalled, so I have some time to clear this wave, but Brody ganked this. Farsa not knowing that Brody would be there, right? I wouldn't say it's an error. I would say it's just really unorthodox, or not unorthodox, surprising. It's not the usual Bren, right? It's not the usual textbook Bren, alright, that they usually do. Usually the core, tank, and support will stick next to each other and gank together, alright? But they didn't do that in this case. It was actually Karl ganking alone, which you won't see in a lot of cases, alright? But let's see here, the turtle is up. So let's see who gets this. Lusty's here, the turtle's up. He knows that he needs to put some pressure on the Baxia for them to try and get this turtle. But most likely Burmese Ghouls will get this turtle, because they do have the Yuzhong Dragon trying to zone out Karl right here. As long as Karl doesn't get near the turtle, they should be able to secure this turtle. So this is really good dragon from Yuzhong, by the way. He zoned out the Karl. Look, he ignored everybody except for Karl, which resulted into Burmese Ghouls securing the turtle. So this is really good. And Baxia was holding the turtle so it doesn't reset. So that's really, really good. And Natalia actually got a pick off on Chu, because he was very low. So, and they got away. So Burmese Ghouls managed to win that trade objectively, alright? They managed to win that trade objectively. And they even got a kill on Lunox. Look at that flame shot. I didn't even think flame shot did that much damage. Look at this. Yeah, I didn't think flame shot did that much damage. And it hit Karl first, actually. But very, very unfortunate. If Lunox went here, he would have gotten killed by Nat anyways. So I don't think it mattered. And Baxia was about to chase him if Lunox went on that direction. So that was just a really good flame shot by Farsa. All right, really good flame shot. The blue buff is up. Most likely Brody's gonna go for that. So far Burmese Ghouls actually won the trade. This is very, very good. They're meeting their win condition. What they need to do is to try and get this Hayabusa to late game, because Hayabusa is a late game hero, which not a lot of people realize. People think that Hayabusa is like a mid game hero. He is more of a late game. Late game, he could literally just ulti you and you're gonna die if you don't have anyone near you. So that's what's hard about going against Hayabusa. Just the 1v1s, taking on the 1v1s, it's really hard to 1v1 Haya. And again, this is really good from Natalia, making sure that this lane is always winning, because he knows that Farsa will lose to a Benedetta 1v1. Benedetta is supposed to win this matchup on a 1v1. But in this case, since Natalia is helping this lane a lot, you know, Farsa is being given space, alright? He's getting space from Nat. This Yuzhong is doing fine anyways, so Natalia doesn't have to gank the top lane. Yuzhong is doing fine. He has the dragon. Alice does not have enough burst in the early stage of the game to even kill the Yuzhong. So Natalia is not really worried about the top lane too much. Alright, but here in this case, look at Natalia left the bot lane for just a couple of seconds, and Farsa was already forced to retreat, because he knows that the diving potential of Benedetta is very, very strong. We see that the Yuzhong did dragon form again, and the Yuzhong's job is to just focus Karl. That's it. That's why they pick Yuzhong, to counter the Brody. And this is really good from Ruby DD, by the way. See, that's how you counter Brody. A dive composition, right? A dive composition. He cannot stun you whenever you're in dragon form, so you're forced to just take it head on. And Farsa is trying to control the wave for mid lane and bot lane by flying, alright? So he's rotating really fast from mid lane to bot lane to try and wave clear so that Bren Esports don't get any towers or any objectives. But you know what's good here that I noticed for Bren is, as soon as they saw that the turtle's about to be up, the timing on this team, the timing, 12 seconds, the turtle's about to be up. Alright, why don't we gank top lane? Even if our gank fails, we're still next to the turtle, and then we could do that objective even if we don't get any kills with this gank. Right here. Right here. See? The turtle's about to be up in 5 seconds. And they're gonna get a pick off. The best thing to do here is to they just saw Yuzhong did the dragon form, so this guy doesn't have dragon for like a good 35 seconds. He doesn't have anything, so he gets kicked and gets bursted by Lunox. And that's why Lunox is such a good pick against Yuzhong. Just the burst is just super good as long as you kick Yuzhong. The combo is very, very good. Alright, and here we go. Bren already trying to do the turtle since they know that they have the advantage. Alright, Yuzhong is dead. It's going to be a 4v5, but they are going to trade. Burmese Ghouls, the best thing that they could do here is to trade this tower, alright? Trade this tower and try to get this tower and get another objective. Because like I said on my previous analysis, you usually want to take towers over turtles, alright? Because towers will give you more gold than turtles. And Rebo actually got away. This is super unfortunate for Burmese Ghouls, but Baxia was actually there to secure that kill. The only unfortunate thing for Burmese Ghouls, I would say, is they didn't have minions on this bot side of the map. If they did, they could have continued pushing this bot lane. But it's very, very lucky for Bren Esports that they didn't have enough minions to even push this lane, alright? And even then, even if Burmese Ghouls had minions on the bot side and Burmese Ghouls ended up choosing to keep pushing this bot side, right here, even if they chose to push this with the minions, alright, just another situation, Bren was gonna force Burmese Ghouls to come here at mid. If you take our bot lane tower, we'll take your mid lane tower. So it's making it, they're controlling the tide of the game, which is super important, especially when you're a top tier team. These little things that they do, which makes them so good, it's just so fun to watch. Very, very enjoyable. Baxia is here. He's not gonna do anything. Lunox has light form, so that's not gonna do much. Baxia was forced to ulti already, so that's like a what, 25-second cooldown or so, maybe 30 seconds if he doesn't have any cooldown items. Now Benedetta actually switched lanes and he almost got jumped on by Baxia. This is really good from Flap though, sidestepping everything and Baxia missing everything. So now Alice is on the bot side and then Benedetta is on the top side, which I would say is kind of hard for Bene, I would say. These guys, Lunox has light form. Let's look at the team fight here at mid. So Lunox has light form, they silenced him, but they failed to burst him because, again, Hayabusa is not like a burst type of hero unless he's really fed. In this case, he's not super fed. So he needs to ulti Lunox in order for him to get the kill anyways. And Lunox actually counters Hayabusa. And Lunox still has flicker here, and he's not even scared. Look, Lunox did not even flicker early. He was not worried at all. And as soon as they saw the dragon, Bren Esports, probably the best thing to do is just retreat. But Flap kind of fucked up there by going in again. I would say it's better to retreat because they managed to get away already and got a kill. So there's no point in them fighting anymore, alright? And I think Brody will ult here. Oh, look at the timing. So unfortunate for Burmese. Look at Karl doesn't have ulti. Look, Karl doesn't have ulti until then. Look, green light right there. See, he was really waiting for that ulti. So unfortunate for Natalia. Wow. And unlucky for Burmese Ghouls. There's many, again, in every game there is a luck factor, I guess. Just the timings are, it's not going in Burmese Ghouls' way right now, alright? They're one game away from winning M2, and they're just super unlucky with the minion wave so far, the timing on Brody's ulti and all that, and this guy's gonna get kicked and get bursted because he just used dragon form earlier, alright? So to counter the Yuzhong, the easiest way to counter Yuzhong is to keep track of his dragon form. Because his dragon form's cooldown is very high. It's like 35 seconds or so. 30 seconds at least. And as long as he doesn't have dragon form, Yuzhong is very vulnerable to ganks. Alright, it's very easy to gank Yuzhong. So Bren, knowing that he doesn't have dragon, knows that, okay, this guy is gonna be easy to kill. We have Chu Kick, we have Lunox to counter the Yuzhong, but this is very good for Nat. So what I'm noticing is this Nat has been more of like an aggressive type of Natalia instead of like a utility type of Natalia. If you watch my previous analysis on Greed's Natalia, right, it's more of a utility type of Nat where he gives information to his teammates. But this Natalia is more like he always pokes, he always harasses, he always shows where he is. For me personally, I really like the utility Nat better, alright? Because it's going to be easier for your team to read the rotation of the opposite team if you know where they are. Knowing is half the game, alright? and vision and information is very, very good. But this Nat has just been poking with after he becomes invisible, he just pokes with his passive and then dashes away. And then Bren Esports knows right away where she is, so they don't have the anxiety anymore of having needing to know where Nat would be. But Few is gonna die here from Yu Zhong. He's gonna get traded. That was actually a really good target prioritization for Bren. You'll know what I mean. Let me just go back a little bit. They saw the Pharsa rotating from bot lane to help on the team fight, and if this they had to cancel the Pharsa ulti as soon as this Pharsa ulted. Bren knew that they had to go all in on this Pharsa. If the feather airstrike hit them any more times, they were gonna lose the team fight. You'll see right here, feathered airstrike, one feather airstrike so far. As soon as they saw that, you see how Bren will go to Pharsa instead of whoever is here that's very, very low. Baxia, they know their target prioritization, right? Which is a lot of amateur, not a lot of top tier teams do, and a lot of amateur teams that don't do. All right, so this is the problem with the amateur teams. Just target prioritization. Usually they throw everything at a tank. If once they see someone low, they go straight to Baxia. All right, amateur teams would chase Baxia, but in this case, Bren knew right away that they went for the Pharsa, and he only managed to throw 2 feather airstrikes. Let's see, maybe 3. Let's see, let's count it. 1, 2, and he tried to throw another one, but he missed. He tried to throw another one, but he missed. So too bad. So he died right away. All right. I'm surprised Pharsa does not have Flicker or Purify, so that's why it's really easy to catch this Pharsa. Yeah, he has Flame Shot. No wonder. But yeah, there you go. Just because of that, that little thing, that that small detail, it made Bren win that team fight. But it's actually looking okay for Burmese Ghouls, and how could I say that? These guys are consisted of 1, 2, and 3 late game heroes. As long as the gold lead is not too far, they're gonna inevitably get to late game, alright? And that's their win condition. Get to late game and hopefully win the team fights and once their heroes go online in the later stages of the game. So Burmese Ghouls is actually doing okay right now. Alright, it might look like they're gonna be losing, but they're doing okay. As long as Brody doesn't snowball super hard. He's 4-1 and 4, but then again, he's the same level as Hayabusa, so it's not gonna be too far off. In terms of gold, it's not so far off. It's only 500 gold difference right here. And Brody already has the immortality. He's building tanky as well. As we learn, we're gonna learn it in the later stage of the game. Natalia right now giving some information to his teammates. Baxia knows that Chu's here. I'm surprised they're not overflowing this lane right here. So this might be I would say a mistake of decision making for Burmese Ghouls, because usually a rule of thumb, textbook wise, in terms of top tier teams and Mlbb, you want to take all the first tier towers one by one. So they already got this bot lane tower, right, as you can see right here. So the next tower would probably be that's most reasonable is the top lane tower, that's first tier. All right, you usually want to take the middle tier towers last before you want to take the side lanes first before taking the mid lane towers. But let's see what Burmese Ghouls will do here. Because even if you push this lane and overflow that lane, you're not gonna be able to push this. It's too deep into the map, considering that Bren still has two first tier towers here, right, at mid and top. So it's gonna be too deep, and it's gonna be easy for Bren to actually sandwich them, just like what happened right now. Pharsa was easily ganked after that, right? But they gotta trade 1 for 1, and I think Few might be able to get away here, and Kid is gonna die maybe. Let's see. I'm surprised Bren. Oh, Chu's actually focusing the Baxia, trying to save the Lunox. So that might be a mistake or a miscom, because he could have gone for a Nat. Let's see. Look, Nat is still showing, but instead Chu went. Oh, he went Envy already. Did he? Let's see. Did he go Envy already? Let's check. So Nat is still seen. Yeah, Chu could have gone for Nat. See, look, he just went invisible right there, but he went for the Baxia instead, because I think Few was already for sure dead. There's really no point in Chu trying to go for the Baxia. He's too tanky, first of all, and I think it would have been better for Chu to chase the Nat instead. But he failed. So he's gonna waste a flicker here. So this is the first error that Bren is gonna probably do here. First error, I would say. First error. Alright, on the last analysis, someone was telling me, why did Nat go back in with 1 HP? He's so lucky he lived. Jesus Christ. He went back in with 1 HP. I don't think Burmese Ghouls ganked that perfectly. Let's see. Because look at Hayabusa still has ulti. This guy flickered already. Silence. There you go. Dash out. Oh, he dashed towards where Chu was running. So that's not good. I think he should have dashed into the bush. He almost died because of it. He almost died. That was really close. Wow, super close, but super risky play from Nat, by the way. Benedetta is pushing this top lane though, so objectives over kills for Bren, right? Objectives over kills. I would say that's the first error though for Bren. First minor error. It's not super big. It's a second tier tower for Bren. The best thing to do here for Rebo is to clear this lane so that they can't get the second tier tower and they don't get any trades for Burmese. Clear the lane. There you go. He's gonna try to clear it. But I think he failed. Yeah, he's gonna fail because Baxia is here. He gets countered super hard. But he actually managed to save the second tier tower. So he actually successfully did his job even though he died. He successfully did his job. They got a second tier tower in trade for nothing. A death. Alright? You're always gonna be ahead. You're always gonna be, how do you say this? An advantage. Ulti? Nice. Very nice ult from Karl right there. And I think this Hayabusa is not gonna do anything because this minion is actually helping absorb the Hayabusa damage. So this Hayabusa is also dead, I would say. So very good right there. And that's an easy lord. So they kind of forced it, I would say, for Burmese. They forced a second tier tower. They do have the right idea because their second tier tower was getting siege. But this is an error. I would consider this an error because they went bot lane first instead of top lane. I told you guys earlier they're supposed to do the first tier tower on the top side first before going into the second tier tower here on the bot side, because the rule of thumb is for you to take all the first tier towers first before moving on to the next one. But Farsa actually managed to trade a tower, but these guys are gonna get lord. You always want to do lord over towers, alright, unless it's an inhib tower. Right, but usually Lord still is still much more worth it than an inhib tower. Just one, maybe 2 inhib towers, then it would be worth it for a Lord. But 1 inhib tower would not be worth it for a Lord. If I was Burmese Ghouls though, to be honest with you, they're playing at a disadvantage right now, and there's really no point in contesting this. First of all, they have a Farsa, right? So this is something that they failed to understand as a team, I guess. They have a Farsa, meaning they have really good wave clear. They have a Yu Zhong that could zone out if the Lord comes in. Right? They have a Yu Zhong that could zone out if the Lord comes in. Hayabusa, who also has good wave clear in the minions when his ulti, right, when he comes alive. So it would be better for Burmese Ghouls to actually give this Lord. First of all, it's a level 1 Lord. Level 1 Lord. They have a Farsa for wave clear. Alright? So they don't really have to worry about this. I would just give this, and they're playing at a disadvantage because Hayabusa just died. Right? Hayabusa just died. They don't have retribution. It's a very low chance that you will steal this Lord because they have a Brody right here. And I think what they tried doing, what Yu Zhong tried doing is to focus Karl, but they failed to do so. Look, they don't even kill Karl, I would say. He even has immortality. So even if you kill Karl, he's gonna go back alive and probably steal retribution the Lord. So that is one big major mistake for Burmese. Right now, they're pretty much playing into Brent's hands right now. They're playing themselves right now. Okay, so now Farsa is dead, Yu Zhong is dead. Hopefully the Lord gets there before Yu Zhong even spawns. The best thing to do for Bren here is to take all the first tiers and second tier towers. Alright? That's usually what will happen if you do get the level 1 Lord. You always want to take the level 1 Lord if you still have a tier 1 towers on the other side, alright? On the opposite side. But Karl is actually gonna live here. Look, he doesn't die. He's building tanky, and they got... I don't understand. Why is Burmese chasing right now? The enemy team just got Lord. Why is Burmese trying to pick on a fight? Why are they trying to get into a fight? The thing that they should be doing right now is trying to wave clear and try to defend their base. Right now, they're playing at a disadvantage, and they're still playing at a disadvantage, and they're still trying to engage. They just keep on engaging. And that is a big mistake for Burmese. This is where they start falling off right here. They were meeting their win condition, but they're not playing along their win condition right now, since they keep engaging. They keep engaging. Okay, Farce is alive. Like I said, it's gonna be easy for Farce. Look, Lord is already half health. I don't even think he's gonna be able to hit the you know, the inhibitor tower here. Let's see. Is he even gonna hit that? No. Look, why are they worried about a level 1 Lord? This Lord is about to die. See, it's dead already. He did not even make it to the tower. You see this? And Chu is actually forcing a setup here for on Farsa. The reason why is because he doesn't have Purify. All right, he doesn't have Purify. So this is actually a really good play from Lusty. This is just a good fucking set. All right, this is just a good set. And without Farsa, they don't have any wave clears anymore. They don't have any wave clears anymore because Baxi just spawned. And I think Yuzhong was trying to defend the mid lane, alright? He's trying to defend the mid lane. So Yuzhong does have Dragon, but he never used it. Let's see. I think it would be better for Yuzhong to turn Dragon right here and zone instead. But he didn't. He saved it. He actually saved it. He saved it this whole time. Look, he has green light. He never used it. So I think that's another mistake. And Farsa also gets picked off by a good setup from Chu. Look, he still hasn't used his Dragon form to save his inhibitor tower. It's so late. Look, he turned his Dragon form so late. No more minions. It's already cleared. And now they want to re-engage after Farsa died. Now they're playing a 4v5 again. 4v5 again. Alright. Well, they're playing a 4v4 since Flap is going back. But they disengage. See, that is super late Yuzhong Dragon right there. Super late. You could have done that by saving a couple of HP on the tower, to be honest. Could have done that. Or you could have done this on the next wave right here. He could have done it on the next wave. Now he just wasted the dragon, and now they're gonna lose an inhib tower because of it. So that is another mistake for Burmese Ghouls. Another mistake. That was a risky play from Lusty, by the way, by going into the Farsa without any minions. So it's just like a ballsy play. If he fucked up, that would have been an error. But in that case, they were all in the same page. You saw Alice. Let's watch it again. That was really good. Let's watch it again. You saw Alice was on the same page, right? Give me a second. Right here. As soon their comms are on point. Well, right here. Where's Chu? Right here. They're invisible. Look. Invisible. Right there. Wow, what a fucking set. And Alice knew right away as soon as he got the knockup, he's gonna follow up. They're all in the same page, as you can see. Lusty and Rebo and Flap was all in on it. That's what's good about this Bren Esports, and that's something that the team that I'm analyzing for really lacks. All right, they really lack that type of chemistry or synergy. They're not on the same page at all times. They have one target in mind, they have one goal in mind, and they do it. Alright, so that's super good for Bren, and that's something I would say that my team needs to work on. Here we go. Yuzhong doesn't have Dragon for a good, like, what, 25 more seconds. Farsa's dead, he just spawned. So, and they just keep fighting. Burmese just keeps on fighting. Look, that's what Bren wants you to do, is to fight them. They're forcing the fights right now, but it looks like Flap and Chu are actually gonna get picked off here, so they need to chill. Bren Esports actually need to chill right here. They're like, oh, let's not be too desperate. We don't even have super minions. Farce is alive. As soon as Farce is alive, they're backing, right? They're backing because they know this is going to be an easy wave clear for Farsa. There's no point in forcing into pushing, alright? Even more. Because Farsa is just going to wave clear. So right now, they're going to retreat. They don't want to get picked off. It's in the late game now, right? It's in the late game. It's just the start of the late game. Burmese Ghouls, finally good zoning from Yuzhong. I don't know why he went towards this direction. He's not even close to dying, honestly. Why? Look, he's not even close to dying. And actually, Hayabusa is also, what's it called? Hayabusa is going all in. I think he might ulti. No, he's not. If Yuzhong went in, I think he would have killed the Lunox. But he ended up running away. Because they don't have any minions, I guess. They didn't want to force a play. I think that would have been perfect though. If that Lunox is dead, yeah, that would have been better for Burmese. But even then, they don't have Lord anyways. But if they did get that pick off, it would be easier for Burmese Ghouls to push this mid lane tower and to get other objectives, because it's a 4v5. It's a 4v5 if they kill the Lunox. So Yuzhong, I wouldn't consider that an error. I think it was a call as a team that to not dive. So not an error, not an error. Almost, it was almost. I think it would have been good for Yuzhong to kill the Lunox. But anyways, let's keep going. Natalia is gonna get chased here. So this is really good for, oh, nice flicker for Rebo, making sure that Natalia doesn't get away. So again, it's a 4v5. Like I said, right? Nat is a gamble type of hero. As soon as Nat is dead, oh man, you are in big trouble. As soon as Nat gets to late game, you're kind of in big trouble. And Lusty has just been playing this perfectly. He actually fucks up the knockup. Look at you right here. So he fucks it up, right? He fucks it up. He does have flicker, but I don't think his knockout was gonna make it anyways. So instead of knocking up, he flickers and then he kicks. He was about to ulti. Hayabusa was about to ulti too, but he didn't make it. So that was actually a good pickup for Bren. Again, it's a core getting picked off. Wow, I'm surprised Yuzhong has Dragon again. And I think this guy, look at the sustain on Yuzhong. He could have gone in on Lunox earlier. Look. He definitely could have gone in on Lunox earlier. Jesus, look at this. They're having such a hard time on Yuzhong because he's into the later stages of the game now. He could have gone in, I swear, and killed that Lunox. They would have been on an advantage right now. Let's see. Oh man, he fucked up. Why'd he go back in? Earlier, I said, not right now. Oh man, he was trying to kill the Brody, tanky Brody, with the immortality. So that's an error right there, I would say. He already got away. Look, he already got away. Farce is really low. Boxy is gonna get away from Brody. He's tanky as hell. He's ulted too. But this guy went back in. Ruby DD really throwing this game, I would say. He really threw this game. Yeah, this is the most mistake from Ruby DD so far. This game, right? This game. Game number 6. But on the other games, I think Ruby DD played really well. He was playing good throughout the series, but yeah, very, very inconsistent, I guess. Now, Yuzhong is dead. They have a good 10 seconds to do this Lord. Natalia's not going to do anything. Everybody's too tanky to pick off. Even if you try to go to Benedetta, he dashes out. He immunes and dashes out. Or he ultis out. There's the ulti from Benedetta to burst out the Lord. Farce is not going to be able to take it as long as Brody retributions correctly. So now they just... What Bren needs to do, they just need to reset lane and push with the Lord. That's pretty much it. There's nothing more to it. They just push with the Lord. Farce is going to try to wave clear. Finally, Yuzhong, I would say Yuzhong tried to zone just a little bit too early. What happened there? What the hell? Okay, there you go. But they did manage to clear the Lord anyways. So they didn't end up... They used the super minions to get the inhibitor towers. Benedetta ulted in the middle of the crystal so that the minion wave gets cleared. So that's good. Few is dead. So this is good for Burmese actually. So I think Bren needs to retreat here. They don't want to be too greedy. Yuzhong has Dragon again. Wow, what is the cooldown on his Dragon? Didn't he just Dragon earlier? So it's actually not done yet. But they did manage to get one inhibitor tower after that Lord. So now it's a matter of whoever gets the next Lord or whoever fucks up. Whoever goes out of position. I think Farsa might be out of position here. Oh no! Hayabusa got caught again! That's twice now. This guy's gonna get kicked. Oh, he got away. I cannot believe Hayabusa got away. He actually got away with immortality. But I think Yuzhong is gonna get traded because of that. Oi! That is so unfortunate for Yuzhong. That is just unfortunate. And yeah. Few has Necklace of Durance with full burst, so it's just really hard for Yuzhong. So unfortunate for Yuzhong not killing the Benedetta. That would have been good because he didn't have immortality. He was super low. But Hayabusa did get away though. Again! Okay, no, Winter Truncheon is good. I was about to say, Hayabusa gets caught again! Again! And he's dead, I think. He ulted, but he's still dead. How many times did this Hayabusa got caught? 3 times. 3 times. Because of it, I mean, they kind of played themselves into it, to be honest. It was still a team error. There's a couple of individual errors, especially from Yuzhong. The Nat pick definitely fell off in the later stages of the game. As you can see, what did Nat do late game? Nothing, right? That's why I don't like Nat picks. Late game, you're freaking screwed. Especially against Brody. Why would you pick freaking Natalia against Brody? He's so tanky. It's such a hard core to pick off as Natalia. So the Nat pick was just not good. The Yuzhong pick was good, but the Yuzhong could have played better. Baxia pick was okay. The Farsa pick was okay, but Lusty made really good plays. Alright, so yeah, so that's all for the analysis for the tank Brody. We couldn't see the results, but they did end up winning. If you guys enjoyed this analysis, make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. Thank you guys so much for watching, and now I'm out. Peace!